and today we are going to be doing the new releases for movies and books in July. And Bree's going to start off with the books.
Okay. The first book I have is called Grave Birds by Diana Ellendorf? Oh God, I hope I didn't say that last name wrong. I'm sorry. This one's expected July 1st. And it's a horror fantasy paranormal gothic and it's 309 pages. So, a fresh take on Southern Gothic that follows a mysterious, charming bachelor as he makes his way into a small town, bringing a plague and the devil with him. Gravebirds haunt the cemeteries of Hawthorne, South Carolina, where Spanish moss drips from the trees and Southern charm is embedded with lies. Hollis Sutherland never knew these unique birds existed until she died and was brought back to life. The ghostly birds are manifestations of the dead's unfinished business, and they know Hollis and her uncanny gift can set them free. When a mysterious, charming bachelor wanders into their small town, bizarre events begin to plague the wealthiest citizens, like blood dripping from dogwood blossoms, flocks of birds crashing into windows of their homes, and faces in paintings morphing into distortion. Hollis knows that these are omens from her grand. Hollis knows that these are omens her grandfather warned about, announcing the devil's return. Despite Kane Laundrie's eerie presence and the plague that has followed him, his handsome face and wicked charm win over the townsfolk. Even Hollis falls under his spell as they grow closer. That is, until lies about the town's past start to surface. The grave birds begin to show Hollis the dead's ugly past from some 25 years ago, and she learns all about the horrible things these noble families did to gain their wealth. Hollis can't decide if Cain is some immortal hand of God there to expose their sins, or if he's the devil there to ruin them all. Either way, she's determined to save her town and the people in it, whatever she has to do.
I like that one a lot. But the name reminded me of Harry Potter. The author's name. It sounded like when you were pronouncing it, I'm like, I thought it was said Gryffindor. For some reason I was thinking like I'm like Gryffindor? I'm like dog.
It says Ellen Diana Ellendorf. I might be pronouncing that wrong. Maybe I'm just making it sound more.
Yeah, Ellendor. That's right. I It's alright. I was like, I just like her name. I'm like the story that she wrote seems really, really interesting too. But I'm like, I like how I just got really hooked on just her name. I was like, I just want to read it because her name.
Yeah, I like how she kind of brought in, the birds to that are like messengers and stuff. So that's kind of cool. It sounds like it has a lot going on with it. It sounds very obviously Southern Gothic because it's in South Carolina and like the Spanish moss and it's got a vibe to it. So it sounded interesting, so I added it to the list. The other one I have, this is book number two. This one I really want to read. This one I usually make a list like months in advance of books I want to read for the next year, and I hadn't heard of this one, so I'm glad we do these videos. Because this one I'm like, I want to read this. This is called The Unkill. Oh, wait. So this reminds me of something. Like, I know this story sounds super familiar. So if you think of it, you got to let me know because it sounds like something I've heard before. But it's called um, The Unkillable Frank Lightning by Josh Roundtree. And this is expected July 15th. It is a horror western. Of course, horror western's my thing. It's 240 pages.
Okay, so it's not even that long either.
Yeah, no, it's not too bad. So, I know my friends make fun of me because a lot of like Halloween people are really mad that there's like this weird Western Halloween theme kind of been going on, and I'm like all about it. I like the skeletons with the boots and the cowboys. It's just so random. I love it. I just love Halloween. I love horror Western.
Yes.
So this is the Unkillable Frank Lightning. In this riveting historical horror novel, Frankenstein is vividly reimagined in the Wild West, with equal parts Cormac McCarthy and Mary Shelley and Stephen Graham Jones. Roundtree defiantly navigates the terrible aftermath of love and death. Catherine Coleridge is a complicated woman, a doctor, an occultist, and briefly a widow. In 1879, Private Frank Humble, Catherine's husband, was killed in a Sioux attack. Consumed by grief, she used her formidable skills to resurrect him, but Frank lost his soul after reanimation and disappeared after a killing spree. Unable to face her failure and its murderous consequences, Catherine fled to grieve. 25 years later, Catherine has decided she must make things right. She travels back to Texas with a pair of hired killers ready to destroy Frank. But Frank has remade himself as the unkillable Frank Lightning, traveling with the Wild West show. Reaching for a last chance at redemption, Frank and Catherine are at an impasse. As time runs out, their final choices may result in considerable bloodshed.
That seems. It sounds good, but it didn't ring a bell to me for anything. Mm-mm.
But yeah, I really want to read that one. That's really good, really fun. I want to know um like their relationship and like what he becomes. Like, is he like possessed or like is he like a new person? I don't know. I want to read it.
That would be cool. I want. Yeah, see, because if they bring you back soulless, it. Yeah, that's the interesting part. Because then, if you don't have a soul, you're just like an empty shell.
Yeah, and he went on a killing spree, so and then he's like, maybe he got sick of killing, and he's just like, I want to be in a freak show now. I want to be with the circus.
Hey, it happens.
This one's next one sounds really fun. Another one that I'm like, I didn't know about this before, and it immediately went on my want to read list, and I can't wait for it to come out. So this one is Drop Shift by Stephanie Sanders Jacob. Expected July 15th. It's 209 pages. Buyer beware, contents may be harmful. Nothing else to do and no career perspective. Alex turns to the lucrative world of drop shipping. He never sees the stock, never goes to a warehouse, just clicks a few buttons and takes orders and money. When Mary, a lonely middle aged mother, contacts him regarding an incorrect order, he doesn't think much of it. Customers are simple, easy to placate, but the gurus on YouTube didn't prepare him for Mary turning up at his door with the pulpy remains of a creature he's never seen before. Forced to gather up forced together by the stinky beast, the duo embark on a mission to find out what the creature is and why it's been shipped, only to discover something far more sinister is at play. Upon starting their journey, one thing becomes clear: there is no going back, and there will be.
Oh, damn.
I love. Have you like seen all of the it's like business gurus and they're like get into drop shipping. Drop shipping's for like cool people and you make so much money. Have you seen that shit?
Yeah, I have.
I love that this is a horror book based on that. That makes me so happy. And I love that he's like like this order got returned because it's like some kind of monster and they like find some like who knows like cosmic horror
They're like,
or like who knows what they're gonna find. Like that's just so silly. And I kind of love it. Like that's so I guess that's so clever.
it is. You mail a monster. I mail a monster in the mail.
Yeah, like she accidentally got sent a monster. So like I wonder if they're gonna go to like this warehouse and it's gonna be like full of weird monsters or something. Like that'd be so cool. Who knows? I don't know. It's
It might be a Twisted Monsters Inc. With all the...
yeah, who knows? Or like I'm hoping that it goes into like some weird like cosmic horror or something where like I don't know. I'm so excited because that's such a clever story.
Oh, yeah.
Like to turn drop shipping into like a horror story. That's so fun. The next one I have is Girl in the Creek by Wendy Wagner. This is also expected July 15th. It is a horror mystery thriller, science fiction. It's 272 pages. Uh, the Girl in the Creek by Hugo Award winner Wendy Wagner is an atmospheric and eerie story about the Pacific Northwest forest that seems to be devouring all who enter. A perfect read for fans of T. Kingfisher and some other person and cosmic horror. I don't know the other author. Um, like Clackamas National Forest has always been a sanctuary for evil, human and alien. The shadows of looming trees and long abandoned mines shelter poachers and serial killers alike. Then there's the ruined hotel on the outskirts of the picturesque small town, Faraday, Oregon, nestled in the hills of Mount Hood. The one drowning in mushrooms and fungus not even the local experts can identify, not to mention the stacks of missing persons cases. A freelance author, Erin Harper, arrives in Faraday to find out what happened to her brother, whose disappearance in the forest has haunted her for years. But someone else has gone missing, and when Erin finds her in the creek, the girl vanishes again, this time from the morgue. And days later, her fingerprints show up at a murder scene. Maybe it's a serial killer, or maybe it's the spores infecting the forest of those lost inside. Erin must find answers quickly before anyone else goes missing, and she might be next. So, fungus horror. I'm here for it. It's very Last of Us.
Okay, I was gonna say I was like listening to it, and then all of a sudden I was like, wait, this is like continuation of this?
I don't think it's a continuation. I think it's just they're kind of popping on the bandwagon of like fungus horror, because T. Kingfisher rewrote Edgar Allan's Poe's like the Fall of the House of Usher in her own like style, and it's about like the mushrooms kind of being like a fungus like this kind of and like making everything all nasty or whatever. Um, so that's very The Last of Us.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say I honestly I like that idea of that the like a fungus kind of killing that turns because fungus is so hard to kill like The Last of Us did, but then also like in that movie The Gift with that little girl, I think that they also did like the fungus was the problem, the cause.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. That's a book too, The Girl with the Gift, and then there's a second book in that series, The Boy with Everything or something like that. I forget what the title is. Um, yeah, I think this whole like fungus thing started when people there's like this fungus that infects ants and makes ants go like to the top of a tree, and then like the fungus grows out of their head and it releases the spores or whatever to infect whatever's next in line for it, and it kind of makes them like zombies and stuff. And I think they do it to like bees and ants, and I think that kind of freaked people out. And now we've got all this fungus horror.
Yeah, and plus, honestly, but all those books are books that you can read so fast. If they're only like 200 pages and you're such a bookworm, like that'll take you almost a half a day. And you'll they would be done.
Yeah, there was a YA book I almost included in this list, but I was kind of on the fence about it. And then when I seen the page count, it was like 490 pages, and it was a YA novel. And I'm like, look, I was a teenager once. The only book that long that I would have read was a Stephen King book because I loved Stephen King. But I just don't see a lot of, especially nowadays. Maybe I'm being a boomer. Maybe this is a boomer mentality, but I just don't see a lot of young adults wanting to read something that long.
No, that makes sense. Honestly, just saying because I feel like I fall into the younger group. Like my attention span is not unless I'm really intrigued in it. It it will disintegrate very quickly, and I'm like, oh, will not pay any attention.
Yeah, and I mean, it's there's nothing wrong with liking shorter books because I mean, we're adults now, so we have busy lives and
Kind of. It's so true. It's so true.
I miss our reading days when we would just all three of us would just sit in the backyard on our spots. I think Ryan would be smoking and we'd just all be reading, just enjoying. It wasn't even the same book, all different books, just existing and reading. It was so fun.
I remember that we did it for like we do go for like an hour or two.
There's something about those summer nights when it's like 75 out. It sucks when it's like 110 during the day and then the nighttime doesn't cool off, but like being outside at night here in the central California area is so nice. Cause like it's like perfect weather.
The first one I'll start out with is I've been waiting. It's Jurassic Park Rebirth. And I can get down with this Jurassic Park. I'm even wearing my t-shirt and stuff today cuz I can get down with this one because it has Scarlett Johansson in it and she's like the new action star and I'm like, okay, I can watch her. She's a good actress and she's attractive. She got everything. She's good. I will one I will 100% think it's going to be a better movie than the Jurassic Worlds because no shame, but Chris Pratt sucks. He is a horrible actor. I don't care what anyone says. So I'm happy that
I think it was a mixture of Chris Pratt sucks and the movie also sucked.
yeah. So it my poor Jurassic Park turned into a Twilight joke. It was like Twilight. But that's why I'm super excited. So the rebirth one, what they actually did was like on the last one, Jurassic World, when the volcano went off and they said that the dinosaurs died. Well, there's always been two islands. So some of the dinosaurs survived since it was just a volcano. Some of them were able to survive on the original Jurassic Park island, and they didn't go back and get them because they were considered the most dangerous ones. So now they're stuck with the freaking Tyrannosaurus Rex, and there's some pterodactyls in there. There's For the life of me, I can never name this one, but they also got the humongous dinosaur, the one that it's like a giant crocodile. They have that guy down there, and they have like the vicious raptors.
Yeah, I think so. I saw like online like a fan theory that there is like a secret part in Jurassic Park where they keep like the really nasty dinosaurs, like the ones that are like super genetically engineered, like abominations, you know? So, I seen that and I was like, "Oh, that'd be so cool." Like, I know that they try to keep it like accurate dinosaurs, but it would be kind of cool if they went a little, to me, I think it'd be kind of cool if they went a little like more monster. Like, oh, these are like the failed experiments where they were like just genetically making something like an abomination, and that'd be cool to like see them do something really weird, I guess.
Yeah, no, honestly, that's what I'm excited to see too, because that's kind of what they've done on some of the other ones. Um, Tried to make them, but they just tried to make them bigger and stronger or whatnot. But yeah, but I think if they did some ones that actually, like you said, that were turned out, they were so
Just messed up.
nothing they could do. They were like, this thing is like a hat, and they always try to do raptors or T Rex. But if it was like, let's just say a pterodactyl that was mixed with a raptor, so it has like the raptor's head and pterodactyl wings, and they just have it locked in there, like I think something like that would be terrifying. And they're like, oh shit.
I agree. I think that'd be, for me, to me, it'd be cool if they went totally. They're still dinosaurs, but they kind of make them more like monsters, like genetic freaks, you know.
I I'm super excited for that one. It comes out on July 2nd. Then this other one is so it's July 10th. It's on Netflix. It's called The Brick. This one was very interesting because it's just like this couple. They're in their apartment. They're in an argument or whatnot, and they decide they want to leave. So they go to open the door, and there's like the door's all bricked, and they're like, "What the hell?" Like she gets mad at her partner, like, "Dude, you really don't want me to leave? Like, what is this?" So then they go to the window, and when they go to open up the window, it's like all brick too, and they're like, "What the hell?" And so like they're trying everything to break down this brick wall, and it won't happen. And then he ends up getting a drill, and he kind of just drills down or kind of like goes to the wall, and he makes a hole in the wall, and these people are on the other wall are like, he's like, wait, are you guys able to get out? Like, I'm sorry, I just made a hole in your wall. And they're like, no, there's this weird brick, like they're and they can't get out either. And so it's almost like an escape room kind of thing, and they have no idea. And from the previews, you see this one creepy old guy that says he just kind of hints like he knows what's going on, like it's a game. And everyone else in there's like, what are you talking about? Like, one moment we're in an apartment, and now it's just like we're all boarded in. So it's really it's really interesting.
Is it a horror or is it a thriller?
Yeah, it's a thriller. So it'll probably be something. Yeah, it. I just like the concept of it because at one time too, like in the previews, it shows them kind of like um, throwing metal at the bricks because they're like, let's just they're just trying everything, and it's actually magnetic too. Like in the previews, it looks like it's magnetic, and then it shoots off. So it's like, so it's really interesting. And then another part in the scene, it shows like the girl's putting her hand in there, and it's kind of like quicksand. So like, I have no idea, but it definitely seems really good. Like, and it's on Netflix, so all those people at Netflix, including me, I can watch it.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I didn't see that on Netflix because I like to go through Netflix's like coming out soon and like kind of add stuff to my like remind me about this one. The next one I'm excited to see is the Poop Cruise. But I'll have to check out that one. I'll have to see if that one came out or when that one comes out, I'll have to check it out. It's always exciting when it's on Netflix and you can actually watch it.
I know. So like that's usually so because where I get all my where I get all these movies from, I get it from movie.com. It's like the cinematicmovies.com. And so I feel like they just put everything on there because this is another one I'm going to mention. This one's also on Netflix. I didn't quite see it on Netflix, but when I looked it up, it said that it's happening on Netflix. This one is July 17th, and it's called Untamed. And this one got me really excited because it's a park ranger in Yosemite, and he's on a hunt for a killer who knows Yosemite National Park. However, there's a dark secret lingering in the area that most of the park people don't know about in its past. Yeah. So it's just like a serial killer that's like way up to the park, and he's kind of going rapid, and there's like a dark secret that had gone on because there had been a murder in there, but a lot of people don't know about the murder. Now there's this ranger guy like, oh crap, I have to hunt down the serial killer because people just think people are missing, but they're not. They're being murdered.
I love adventure horror. I love a good forest horror. That reminds me of a book I read. I cannot think of the name.
Into this one was because it's this one it's so it's a mini series. Oh, I forgot to say that. It's a mini series, but by mini series they said it was like 6 episodes, so it's tiny. But I still like you were saying. I just like the idea, like especially when it's anything in parks. I feel like so you could do so many things when a thing is lingered around national parks or climbing or the forest because there's so many things you could do in that. So that's why this one I think is gonna be a good one. And then we got another, and then the other one is on July 18th. Okay, this is like the remake of I Know What You Did Last Summer, and literally it's like the remake. So
Oh, so they're kind of doing like what Scream did with I Know What You Did Last Summer. Okay.
yeah, it I want to say it, if I remember correctly, it had like Jennifer Love Hewitt. I want to say she actually makes appearance in it, but for the most part, it's like the same thing. The home. It's about a caretaker that uncovers a dark secret. So he goes into this facility, and he's just supposed to be a caretaker. So they have him on the floor, and he just makes his rounds or whatnot. And they're like, whatever you do, don't go on the fourth floor. And it's kind of like, why? And they're like, that is her, like, we can't go up there. Not allowed up there. And then the more time he spends there, the more he realizes that there's something else darker and creepy going on because it's kind of like Shutter Island. Like he starts getting the people that are like telling him to be careful, telling him he needs to get out. And then a few times, like when he's in the yard, he's like looked up on the fourth floor and it looks like some creature things up there. Like it's, and then the whole time the people are just like, oh yeah, it's fine, just do your job here, just don't go on the fourth floor.
No, that's it. It's just don't go on the fourth floor. That's the only information.
Yep, that's the only thing. That's the only thing they're giving him is just don't go on the fourth floor. So it's just a basic. It's just a basic scary.
It's a mystery of what's on the fourth floor. You have to find out by watching the movie.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, and it comes in theaters, so just if you guys want to watch, if you want a real mystery, it is a mystery thriller. But and then with this one, okay, so this one I've heard rumors about, and I had to look it up multiple places, and it did say so on July 25th. 13 Ghosts is coming out with the TV series um, on Paramount Plus on July 25th. 13 Ghosts, the series is coming out. And I am so excited for this one because I really liked, I've always liked 13 Ghosts. And everyone that was a fan always said, because at the beginning, back in the day when you had, like, I had the DVD and I could watch the DVD, and at the beginning, you could put a special feature when it tells you about all the ghosts and how they got captured the way they did and what happened to them. But it was all like only like 2 minutes for each ghost. And in this series, what they're supposed to do is basically 13 episodes, and each episode is on one of the ghosts. And it's supposed to, yeah, so it kind of gives you like their whole little story. So, and I'm like, that is, oh my gosh, I am so excited for it because again, they could do so much with it. Like, I I just hope I hope they just don't butcher it. And I forgot to write down the people that direct are doing the directing of it. I know it's Paramount Plus. It might also be Lionsgate if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Lionsgate, probably. 13 Ghosts didn't get a fair shake when it came out. I remember people really shit on that movie, and I love that movie. I think our generation really liked that movie. Um, I don't know why people hated it so much. I thought it was kind of cool. It was definitely unique for its time, and the monsters were cool. They did a great job with the actors were great. The costumes and the monsters were really cool, especially the Jekyll. She was so scary.
Oh gosh. Yeah, no, she gave me nightmares. Well, like even the princess.
Even the soundtrack was good. I used to listen to the soundtrack.
I feel like a part of me could have been some of it because of Matthew Lillard. Like I love Matthew Lillard. I think he's an amazing actor, but I think some people kind of gave it a little bit of shit on him because he said he's like over the top dramatic. I know some people feel that way about that actor. Like I don't. Like I've yeah, they are. Like he's an incredible actor. Like he has done so many different roles and he always aced them all. Like he's really good. But I think that might have been like one of them is that someone was just like, "Oh, he's in it." And I'm like,
But it's like you dislike one actor, so you shit on the whole movie. Like, I think every actor, the monsters, the main characters, Matthew Lillard, of course, I think they all did a great job, and I love that movie. It made my childhood. Maybe it was just, I don't know, I'm trying to see it from the lens of like, if this movie came out when I was an adult, would I still like it? And I feel like I would have.
yeah, honestly, I feel like I still would have too because even like the dreaded princess, like even though she was just all drained and like zombie looking, like even her, like she was so creepy. And what I liked about that movie too, and I hope that, and that's why I have so much hope for this like series is like I like how they filmed the whole movie through the glasses, like how the ghost could be taking them out. And unless you're wearing those glasses, you would have no idea. And then it's interesting, like you put on the glasses and you're like, oh my gosh. And they're like right there, tearing apart.
Yeah. And then they had the incantations, like the spells on the wall to keep them in. Like the movie was like so well thought out. I'm excited for that series though. I'm glad they're finally doing the ghost. They shouldn't have waited so long though. I wish they would have done it sooner, but I'm glad we're finally getting it and I hope they don't fuck it up because if everything is CGI, I'm gonna be pissed. Oh, dude. Those costumes, yeah, they did a great job. Whoever did the prosthetics and the whoever did the monster like design, it was cool. They did a great job and they deserve kudos.
This is the last one. I only added this one because it's so stupid, but I had to. Okay, okay. So it's on limited. So it's like digital. It's probably gonna be on Apple TV. That's usually what it means by limited. But it's called Bambi. And on July 25th, Bambi comes out on limited and it's about a mom and her son who finds himself in a car wreck and soon hunted down by a vicious killing machine Bambi. Bambi's pissed.
Okay. My God. Is it from that same director that did Winnie the Pooh? Or the it's that guy?
Yes. Yes.
My God. I mean, he said he wanted to do a Killer Bambi, and I guess he says he's gonna do something and he does it. So
I know. The best one is I watched the preview. I watched the trailer, and it was so bad.
oh no.
It's like a werewolf, but a deer werewolf. And I was just like, yeah, I was like, okay, I have to do this. And then the person's name, and then I saw what the mom's name was, and I was like, oh, I'm liking this even more. The mom's name is Xena, and the son's name is Benji. So I'm thinking he likes a warrior princess, and he liked the dog Benji.
Yeah. Wow, that's gonna be so bad.
Yeah. It reminded me of those really bad Amazon Prime movies we used to watch.
Good times. Yeah, that was so fun.
Those were so, like I feel like it's gonna be another. I know those watching it probably won't understand, but I know if Ryan sees this, Ryan will understand it. I feel like it'll be like the Spaghetti Man.
Spaghetti Man or Tire or Wolf Cop. Do you remember Wolf Cop?
I do remember Wolf Call. Or the sofa, killer sofa.
Oh, Killer Sofa. Oh, that's a great movie. That's my favorite. Yeah. You'd have to get be in the mood for something silly, like get with your friends and then just laugh while you watch it. Maybe you know, drink a little adult beverage.
Yep, exactly. Oh my gosh. But yeah, those were all my movies of my July. It was a very mixed bag of a lot of different stuff. But you know, it's halfway to Halloween. It's also summer. You know, that all of it's starting to switch in there. Bye.
Okay, bye.